Welcome to the 5 at 5, Arsenal 2, Fulham 2. All of us thought we were going to win that game, especially when we went 2-1 up, and especially when Fulham got the red card, and somehow we managed to drop 2 points. Let's get into what happened. Here are my 5 at 5. Number 1, where else can I start other than Arteta and his tinkering? Look, Arteta did brilliantly last season. Don't get me wrong. I'm not about to turn on him after, I dropped 2 points at home. No way in hell. But the question has to be asked. For me, last year, one of the best things about Arsenal were we had a really, really consistent team, but especially a consistent back five. Now, all of a sudden, for me, our standout defender last year, Gabriel, who I thought was even better than Saliba and was part of the Premier League Team of the Year, in my view, last season. He's now on the bench, dropped. I don't know why. Apparently, Gabriel knows why. He has been told by Arteta, but I don't understand it. I don't see why he's done it. And Zinchenko, who I thought last year was brilliant. I remember waxing lyrical about him so many weeks last year about the impact that he has, and especially doing that inverted role for us. And now we've got Kivior left back against Fulham in this game. And again, Gabriel on the bench and Ben White in the middle, who was so good right back last year. What's going on? Not only that, we lose the dimension going forward by not playing Ben White, because even though, he might not have bombed forward and stuff, him, Odegaard and Saka played lovely triangles in that part of the pitch, attacking for Arsenal last season constantly. All of them really good on the ball. I saw it so many times in the second half, sat in the North Bank. Teams could not live with them, and they would always create from that part of the pitch. And we've lost that as well now. Why is Arteta doing it? Is he tinkering too much? And does anyone disagree with me? Let me know in the comments. Zinchenko, Saliba, Gabriel, Ben White. Just give us that back four, please. Bukayo Saka obviously made a really, really bad error for Fulham's opening goal. But I want to talk about the other elements of his game. Works really hard, always there and ready to step up. Him scoring the penalty yesterday, especially after the referee picking the ball up when it was clearly on the spot, there was nothing wrong with it. Fulham players walking into the box, trying to sort of get in his head and all of that sort of stuff, especially when you consider some of the penalty misses that Saka has had in his career for England, and also that really, really painful one against West Ham away last season, which cost us quite dearly. He steps up, doesn't get fazed by all the nonsense, and still puts it in bottom corner. I love Bukayo Saka. I love his willingness at his young age to always step up, take that pressure on, and deliver for the team. Obviously, as a penalty taker, sometimes it's going to go wrong, but it never ever phases him. This kid has got ice running through his veins. And congrats to him for breaking Paul Merson's long-standing record of consecutive games for Arsenal in the league. Well done, Bukayo Saka. Love watching this guy. And he's one of those players, doesn't matter who you support, impossible not to like. Now, number 3. And in my match review yesterday, I spoke about Aaron Ramsdale and how he sort of made a hash of it for Fulham's opening goal. Now, I guess it wasn't all his fault, but he should never be beaten like that from that range unless the shot is like a Roberto Carlos swerving free kick or something. That was an awful goal to concede. But what I wanted to mention in my 5 at 5 today was, let's not forget, in about the 97th minute of the game, Adama Traore, who's absolutely just driven at our defence, left everyone for dead. And I think he thought when that ball left his foot and he tried to dink it over Ramsdale, I think he thinks he scored. But Ramsdale's save in that moment was huge. And actually let us stay in the game and at least try and find the winner. But it's one of those things where he won't get much credit for it, because right now, in that moment of the game, all of us are focused on just trying to get the win. And instead of taking a second and saying, actually, Ramsdale did brilliantly there to keep Arsenal in the game, it just kind of gets forgotten about. And we're more likely to talk about the Kivior opportunity to win the game rather than Ramsdale making sure we don't lose the game. But Ramsdale, obviously not a good start to the game, but that was a very, very good end to the game, a really crucial save that I'm sure everyone's forgotten about. So I just wanted to remind everyone that that is our keeper. He does it time and time again, pops up in those important moments and does brilliantly, pulls out saves that really you'd expect the opposition to score. Well done, Ramsdale, for that really crucial moment. Number 4, Eddie Nketiah is on fire. So my question to you now, and put it in the comments, when Jesus is fully fit and back, who do you put in the team, in the starting lineup? Eddie Nketiah or Gabriel Jesus? Now look, this is not about who the better player is. I'm not saying that at all. For me, this is about a manager's decision in terms of rewarding players that are doing really, really well to foster good competition in the team. There's no point having a squad full of good players if you're always going to pick your favourites. You've got to reward players when they're playing well. And Eddie Nketiah, with 2 goals already this season and has put in some really good performances, perhaps he needs to be the player to start, and Gabriel Jesus has to do something to dislodge Eddie Nketiah. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're the manager, what would you do? And as I said, I know that Jesus is, he is better than Nketiah, don't get me wrong. But if Nketiah gets dropped after playing so well, I don't think that sends out the right message to the team. Your comments below. And number 5, calm. Let's just relax. Yes, very, very frustrating. Yes, it ruined the weekend. We should have won. But we also could have lost. And let's look at the tail of the tape. Let's look at the match stats. You'll see here clearly, Arsenal were by far the better team. 71% possession, 3.2 XG versus Fulham's 0.56, 19 shots, more than double their 8, 5 big chances, they only had 1, 3 big chances missed, they only had 1, 90% accurate passes compared to their 72. We dominated Fulham. Let's not lie about this. We were just very lax at the back. It was not a good defensive performance. So they got more out of the game than they ever should have in terms of chances and that sort of thing. But you know deep down that this performance should and usually would have ended in victory. And we're not that far away from just sorting out what we need to sort out to make sure we're defensively a bit more sound and robust, and we'll be fine. Perhaps if Arteta picks that defence that we all want to see and that we all know is our best defence, maybe we won't be as poor defensively. Thomas Partey getting caught high a few times, those sorts of things won't happen with Ben White as frequently. I'm sure they'll happen every now and then, that's just football. But look, it's a very, very clear path, in my view, to us getting back on track, and we don't have to worry too much. Stay calm, back the boys, back the manager, keep the faith. On to next week. Thank you very much for watching and for sticking again with me this season and tuning into my content. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're up the team that we love to hate next week, Man United. I'll see you then. Fingers crossed we put this result right against those lot.